Nobody went near Blackwater Lake after sunset. Not because of the cold. Not because of the depth. But because the lake had a reputation. People disappeared there. Boats drifted back empty. Divers never resurfaced. Entire fishing crews vanished without distress calls. The town nearby blamed currents, storms, bad luck, anything except the stories older residents whispered about after enough alcohol. They said there was a town beneath the lake. And sometimes, at night, its lights came back on. Most people laughed at that. Except for Ethan Vale. Ethan was a freelance underwater explorer drowning in debt after a failed expedition destroyed his reputation. When an anonymous client offered him $50,000 to recover a crashed cargo plane supposedly resting beneath Blackwater Lake, he accepted immediately. Easy money. At least, that's what he thought. He assembled a small team: Maya Torres, an experienced diver with a military rescue background; Connor Reed, a cameraman obsessed with documenting dangerous places; and Nolan Pierce, a local guide who clearly didn't want to be there. The locals watched silently as their boat pushed onto the lake that morning. One old woman standing near the dock grabbed Ethan's arm before he left. Her hand trembled badly. "If you see lights underwater, don't follow them." Then she walked away before Ethan could respond. The lake was unnaturally calm. Too calm. Even the birds avoided flying over it. Connor filmed constantly while Nolan nervously checked the sonar equipment. Then the first anomaly appeared. A structure. Deep below them. Perfectly square. Ethan frowned at the monitor. That's not a plane. The sonar expanded outward. Roads. Buildings. Street layouts. An entire town. Underwater. Maya stared at the screen silently. No way. Nolan immediately wanted to leave. "I told you people, this place ain't normal." But Ethan saw opportunity. Footage like this would change everything. The crew suited up. And descended. The deeper they went, the darker the water became. Visibility dropped fast. Then shapes began appearing beneath them. Street signs. Telephone poles. Cars covered in algae. An entire drowned town frozen beneath the lake floor. Blackwater wasn't just a lake. It had swallowed a town whole. Connor's breathing became excited over calms. This is insane. Storefronts lined the streets below them like ghosts trapped underwater forever. Windows remained intact despite decades beneath the lake. Then Ethan saw something impossible. A traffic light swinging slowly in the current. Still working. A faint red glow pulsed beneath the darkness. Maya noticed it too. That's impossible. The lake had no active power source. Yet lights were turning on beneath them. One by one. Windows glowing faintly yellow. Street lamps flickering alive. The drowned town was waking up. The radio crackled violently. Static burst through their headsets. Then a voice came through clearly. "Help us." Everyone froze. Connor looked around wildly. "Who said that?" The voice repeated. Closer this time. "Please. Help us." Nolan panicked immediately. "We're leaving. Right now." But Ethan spotted the crashed cargo plane farther down the street, lodged between buildings. Half buried. Their payday. Against better judgment, they continued deeper into the town. The deeper streets looked disturbingly preserved. Children's bicycles. Open cafes. Suitcases abandoned beside doors. Like everyone had vanished instantly. Not evacuated. Removed. Connor found a newspaper floating inside a submerged diner. The headline read, "Blackwater evacuation delayed." The date was from 1974. Then Maya discovered scratch marks covering the inside of the diner windows. Hundreds of them. People had tried to escape after the flooding began. Something about the scratches felt wrong though. They weren't all human. Suddenly Connor's flashlight caught movement. Someone standing inside a second-floor window. Watching them. A human silhouette. Still. Motionless. Connor aimed his camera upward. The figure vanished instantly. The team's breathing grew heavier. Even Ethan felt it now. The town didn't feel abandoned. It felt occupied. They reached the cargo plane. Its hull was torn open from the inside. Not crash damage. Something had escaped. Inside the cockpit, Maya found the pilot's skeleton still strapped to the seat. But the oxygen mask was missing. The pilot had survived the crash long enough to remove it. Then Ethan found the cargo manifest. Whatever the plane carried had been classified military equipment transferred secretly during the 70s. Connor opened a sealed crate nearby. Inside was not equipment. It was audio recording devices. Hundreds of them. And every recorder was still running. The speakers suddenly activated simultaneously. Voices exploded through the water. Screaming. Praying. Crying. Then one clear sentence emerged above the noise: "Don't let them surface." The lights across the town shut off instantly. Darkness swallowed everything. Something moved beneath them. Huge. Fast. Connor screamed as a shape darted through the street below. Not a fish. Too large. Too human. The team fled through the submerged buildings while distorted shapes moved between structures around them. Then Maya saw one clearly. A person. Or what used to be one. Its skin pale and stretched. Eyes completely black. Mouth opening far too wide underwater. More figures emerged from the darkness. Dozens. The drowned residents. Still alive somehow. The team barely escaped into the town church. The creatures surrounded the building outside silently. Watching. Connor shook uncontrollably. What are they? Nolan finally told the truth. Blackwater town was flooded intentionally. Not because of natural disaster. Because people started changing. After the military brought experimental sound equipment into town, residents began hearing voices beneath the lake. Then they stopped sleeping. Stopped eating. Eventually they walked calmly into the water willingly. The government sealed the entire town underwater afterward. But it didn't stop. Because whatever was beneath the lake was still there. Calling people down. Then the church organ began playing by itself. Slow. Broken notes vibrating through the water. And the drowned people outside all turned toward the lake center simultaneously. Something bigger was coming. The ground beneath the church trembled. Cracks spread across walls. And from the darkness outside, an enormous shape slowly emerged through the flooded streets. At first Ethan thought it was a building moving. Then he realized it was alive. A gigantic mass of tangled human bodies fused together beneath layers of black algae and bone. Thousands of faces shifting across its surface. Whispering endlessly. The source of the voices. The thing beneath Blackwater Lake. Connor lost control completely and swam for the surface. The creature reacted instantly. Long human-like arms exploded upward from the darkness and dragged him screaming into the black water below. His camera light vanished seconds later. The church began collapsing. Ethan, Maya, and Nolan escaped through the rear corridors while the creature flooded entire streets behind them. The lake itself seemed alive now. Buildings cracked apart as more drowned residents swam upward from every direction. Then Ethan understood the truth. The voices weren't trying to lure people down. They were warning them away. The drowned town wasn't a prison. It was containment. The military cargo plane had brought recording technology designed to communicate using low-frequency sound waves. Instead, they awakened something ancient beneath the lake floor. Something that mimicked human voices. Something that learned through listening. And now it wanted out. The survivors reached the surface just as the water around the boat began bubbling violently. The entire lake moved unnaturally. As if something massive beneath it had turned toward them. Nolan started the engine desperately. Behind them, lights slowly illuminated beneath the lake again. Streetlights. Windows. Entire roads glowing underwater. The drowned town was awake completely now. And from deep below the surface, thousands of voices whispered together, "Come back.